Hi, spooky friends. Hi, spooky friends. Spooky friends. Spooky friends. Welcome back, spooky friends, to another exciting episode of Sir Henry's Haunted Podcast, where we talk about Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. Crazy, I know, right? I myself am Zach.
Oh, hey, what's going on? I'm Calvin. I keep forgetting that you're doing this now. Typically, you introduce me.
Well, I was going to, but then I forgot what my role here was.
Also, you added a new bit and we talk about Sir Henry's.
Yeah, we got to keep it fresh. You know, I know a lot of people look at this stuff, and we got to just keep it edgy.
Our mic cords
the original Sir Henry's Haunted Podcast, often imitated, never duplicated.
Okay. Bars.
Whatever that means. Hey, so welcome back, season 4, episode 5. Episode 5. And I hope you've been watching our past couple of podcast episodes. If you haven't, go back, watch them, download them, do all the things. Couple episodes go. It's a new one. A couple episodes ago, we had Tampa J and Chris the Girl on the podcast. Go check that out. Most recently, we had Harry and Christy from Freaks of HHN on the podcast. Go check that out. And today, you have the pleasure of joining myself and Calvin on the podcast. No guest today,
Today it's just family.
We're doing a deep dive into what, Calvin?
So if you've been checking our social media-ish, as you would say, we announced Trail 2, which is, what do we call it?
Ravensgate Asylum.
Ravensgate Asylum. So that's what the topic is of today. All deep diving into Trail 2, which is the big build for this year. If you've been paying attention, we completely tore it down and rebuilt it. We'll get into it. But first, right before I came here, you sent me a milestone. What was that?
Oh, yeah. Over 2,500 downloads of the podcast. Now, that is not YouTube information. That is just downloads of our podcast episodes. We had 2,500 podcast downloads. That's, I think, pretty cool. We're doing this like 2-3 years almost now. So, awesome. Thank you guys for watching this. Thank you guys for always tuning in to care about what we have to say, what we have going on behind the scenes of Sir Henry's Haunted Trail. So, thank you for that.
So how did it start? What happened with Trail 2?
This guy egged me on for 6 months about doing a podcast.
No, not the podcast. Trail 2. What was that?
Told you, I'm mixing it up. I got to keep it fresh. Trying new bits out here.
That's a strong pina colada.
You were asking about Trail 2.
How did it start? When did it begin?
So, yeah, because I know a lot of you guys ask, like, when do you need to come up with these ideas? And I had the idea for Ravensgate Asylum, an asylum in general. Probably August of last year, so 24. So you're talking about almost a year ago.
Yep.
So, even before we opened October, I had the asylum theme, and I think somewhere around October I had a couple of the other themes too.
But even before the theme, like, we knew.
Well, okay, so
it was done.
Trail 2 was going to be our big project this year, no matter what the theme was. We had gotten around to the other stuff that needed immediate attention. 23 was the hayride, was kind of like, hey, let's do this. But then 24 was Trail 3. Did all that, got it in a position. So everything is kind of brand new, up to par, except Trail 2. So we tore it all down.
Yep.
Except the facade. The facade stayed. But everything else, the interior of Trail 2, was gone.
Not a single bit.
Nothing. Well, a couple bits remained. But accessories.
Oh, yeah.
But the entire Trail 2 was gone. The last time we used that trail was December of 24.
Yep.
For Christmas, for Krampus Returns. Yep.
Yeah. And then that was its farewell.
Farewell. So immediately, like, I think it was like January 3rd, we started demoing Trail 2. And
well, even before then, I was already taking fixtures out and
the sound and the fixtures,
all the lights and everything like that.
But all that stuff. So we gone through the process of cleaning it out. Then we demoed it. and we had this a literal blank canvas.
It was the easiest demo. It went so fast, especially like compared to Trail 3.
Yeah.
It just literally breezed.
Well, I mean,
fell
yeah.
over.
I mean, we cut some trees down. We opened that space up.
Yeah,
It's actually bigger now.
Yeah, I forget all the stuff. Like, actually, yeah, we ripped a whole tree out of the ground. Like, picture here.
Ripped it out of the ground.
Straight up out of the ground.
All because we ended up pouring concrete.
Yes.
So we poured a lot of concrete for Trail 2, meaning that when you walk through the entirety of Trail 2, you're on solid ground. Something never happened before out here at Sir Henry's, being an outdoor trail in the woods, grass, mulch, asphalt, dirt, whatever. Trail 2, our goal this year was to make it, it is our Haunted Mansion style house. And we wanted it to feel as much of a haunted house as possible.
Yes.
So...
no more sand in your shoes.
Well, you're still going to get sand in your shoes.
Of course.
On the other trails.
At least, but not in Trail 2.
But, yeah, Trail 2, all solid ground. So this would be especially nice for any wheelchairs or handicap friendly people that it's going to be nice for them.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have to grow new biceps to push a wheelchair.
When, like, all the possibilities for
it makes
creative
our
and stuff,
easier too. Building.
We can actually have like real flooring in there,
scene setting,
if we wanted to.
Yeah, I mean the bathroom will get tiled.
Yep.
Our bathroom scene in Trail 2 is going to get totally tiled, top to bottom. We've got an okay tile guy going to do it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I'm
so
the best guy
We'll
around.
see how he does. I don't know.
But yeah, and putting it up was so easy too because everything was already level.
We have protective coverings to keep weather out as well.
Yes.
So that's new also, and it'll make it feel more. It's gonna be darker in there. The lighting will be more controlled, and all kinds of other possibilities too that allows us to do with sets, props, and things of that nature, animatronics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
It's great. Having concrete changed my life. Straight up. It was the easiest build ever. And he was like, "Oh, it's going to be so much harder dealing with this concrete. 10 times easier."
I didn't say that.
I haven't touched a 4x4
for 200 plus panels.
And we did that.
And so we put up 200 plus panels, wall panels.
Over 100 gallons of paint.
Over 100 gallons of paint. And then we're just talking Trail 2 alone.
Yeah.
You've seen, if you watch some of the other podcasts, Tammy J, Krista Girl, Harry, Christy, we took them through a sneak peek of Trail 2, and I mean, I think they were just kind of in awe, shocked of the, not only like the attention to detail, like everybody says that's whatever, but
the lengths we have gone,
the quality level that goes up. I mean, we put quality in everything we do, but there is it's almost like a different texture. I don't know if that's the right word, but when you go into Trail 2 compared to the other trails, texture is the right word.
And we are more confident to invest in what we are putting into Trail 2.
We can invest more now in Trail 2 because of the protective things we have put in place.
Exactly.
So Trail 2 is going to be here for a while now, here to stay. I mean, it wasn't going anywhere, but the things we can do are going to be here for a while.
It's awesome.
That being said, you guys know that we change our themes every year. Something very few other places do on a local independent level. We do pride ourselves. We do change each and every year our themes and stories and characters. Our Trail 2 is still always be our Haunted Mansion trail. This year it is an asylum. That being said, we did put in the front part of it more traditional house-like settings and scenes and elements. So, like this grand foyer we've been building, and you've probably seen videos or pictures of it, or our dining room. That is a multi-level dining room. It's very cool. And then even like our library scene, they're all getting new elements to scenes we've done in the past, but doing it at a different level because now what we can do
Yeah.
with it. And then you get into all the asylum stuff, which also allows us to change those kind of blank scenes each and every year while still being very specific about it this year.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. It's like, it's all like very modular now because of how easy it is to move all this stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll be cool. It's like Legos at this point.
Also, should we talk about the ending?
Yeah.
So
You talk
something
about whatever.
we've never
I'll
done.
give them a whole tour.
Huh?
So I'll tell them everything. I don't care.
Something, yeah, well, what's it matter? Something we've never done before that we are doing this year with Trail 2 and specifically with its finale is there is a choose your own path. So there are 2 routes you can go when you go through this finale of Trail 2. Each one will have a different experience, but still kind of intertwined at the same time. So never been done before here at Sir Henry's, and I can't really think of anywhere recently that we've seen do that. So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. Cutting edge, as we like to do here.
Like, the whole place, like, as we're building it and starting to put up like more and more stuff, it's such a maze. Like,
Yeah.
I get lost in it all consistently.
It's so amazing. And which one is nicer for our actors and behind the
100%.
scenes staff management for the movability of getting from one place to another, but also the fact that one actor could scare you
3 times. I was showing
minimum
Christian earlier.
like 3 times, upwards of maybe 5 or 6 times. It's kind of crazy. So there's gonna be a lot of good scares in that trail, and so talking about the asylum theme too. You've heard us talk about last year. We went to we did a little haunt mini middle of the week October haunt tour in Pennsylvania. One of those places we stopped at was we stopped at 3 places. 2 of those places, one being Eastern State Penitentiary, and the second being Pennhurst Asylum.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because if you guys don't know, Pennhurst was an actual functioning, working asylum in the early 1900s, all the way up to like the 50s, I think, or maybe even recently.
I think
than
it was
that.
later than that.
So that was really cool.
look
We
it
got
up.
to see a lot of the elements of that haunt and the building behind it all. So I absolutely give them a legal shout out.
It closed in 1987.
Yeah, I thought it was the 80s.
It was an institution operating since 1908.
Yeah, so that's kind of
gnarly.
crazy. So, 87. That was almost 40 years ago.
79 years of controversy.
So
That's crazy. But so we kept saying earlier in the podcast, kind of hinting towards this of like the new techniques that we have used and like stuff like that. It's because like, we haven't messed with concrete that much. So we're actually not learning, but using these new techniques of how to secure stuff and things like that. That's cool. It's a fun new opportunity for us. We're not having to dig 900 holes and
so nice.
do all this stuff. It's cool. And like I said, like the building of it was so easy. We had to touch a hoe once for the facade work, not even in the trail. Everything's already level. You just slap it together, put some plywood on it. It was great. Such an easy build. We're still working on it, of course, but
So
it's just the quality of everything just from the concrete alone. Yeah.
So to tie it all together, we took some inspiration from Pennhurst.
Yes.
And honorable mention to those guys and what they do up there. They do some really cool stuff. And we got, we only saw it in the daytime, and that was impressive for what it was. It's very, very impressive. Highly recommend you go check that out if you're ever up in Pennsylvania around Philadelphia.
Yeah. And then Eastern State, like they still use like a lot of the same with Pennhurst, but I feel like more so with Eastern State, like the original structure from back when it was an operating jail, which that was like one of the coolest settings for haunt I've ever seen. Both of them.
Both settings were really cool.
So like getting to see like the actual natural distressing that these buildings go through over all these years and stuff. I was showing Keegan pictures today, and he was like, how is the paint chipping like that? I'm like, that's because the foundation is probably falling out from underneath this building and it's cracking in that type of way. So getting like actual real physical inspiration for the distressing inside this building is huge. Not just haunt stuff, because obviously they're putting their own stressing on some of this stuff, but a lot of it was original. They'd be walking through like, yeah, this door has been here since the beginning. It's like,
well, something too I want to kind of sidebar for a minute is that, you know, when we were up at these haunts, especially like Eastern State, you know, it's at basically a museum, a state park, whatever it is, and they put a haunt on there, and then the haunt's really good. It's really good. I heard it used to be better, because I guess it used to be a little more intense.
You're talking about Eastern State.
Eastern State.
Yes.
A little more adult oriented, and now it's just kind of like a party Halloween vibe kind of thing, and that's fine. They had some really good stuff in there, but regardless, you know, you parked in like this parking lot, and then you got on a bus.
I forgot about that.
To go, like a prison bus, to go to the location, and then you got off, and then you see this state park, this penitentiary where you have 35-foot high concrete walls,
gnarly,
and this like giant lookout tower, and they have like these these prison elements that we could have seen. I don't know, it's not just that, but like, and then like going up to see Penhurst, which is on like an asylum on a hill in the woods, nothing around it.
We got lost trying to get it through the driveway
in daytime, bro. 2 p.m. It's creeps you out.
It's so cool.
And so you have things like that, and even like Field of Screams too. You just don't have that type of like culture down here.
No.
And you never will, because of, and we talked about this on the couple of podcasts ago, because how Florida is. So if you ever get a chance to go up there, basically anywhere north of Tennessee, to really get into like fall Halloween culture, highly recommend it, because it's a totally unique experience, unlike anything down here. But it's also what we try to mimic, because I feel like that is at its core pure Halloween.
But like, to me, the haunted house experience up there begins when you leave your house or your hotel, because the hills and seeing the trees and the Halloween decorations and everything like that, the vibe, how it's cold, it's actually cold. To me, that's when it starts. And then you actually, the vibe is already there. And so when you go and you actually feel that, and then you come here and you see like how hard we're trying to mimic it.
I just had a really cool idea for something up front. Remind me.
Okay. But like, it's similar to how it was in the Midwest too. Like when you're at school and you're like, culture. Oh, we're going to a haunted house after school. Like, that is so hard. I love it. I love it so much, and that's why I love this, and is that vibe. I love Pennsylvania. I think I'm the happiest in the Northeast, probably, because it's just the vibe.
It's nice to get away and kind of have like almost a reset up there of like, hey, this is
what it's all about.
Exactly.
That is the feeling that we get when we go to see real Halloween.
Not that Sir Henry's is not real Halloween, because it is
100%.
But you know, at the same time, all we have here is scrub oaks, you know.
Yeah.
And flat hills, or not even swampland. So it is nice to see color in the trees, and some rolling hills and a brisk fall breeze. But yeah, going back to Trail 2 and Ravensgate Asylum.
Ravensgate.
I almost said something else. So,
UFC announcement.
Talking about the story, so I wanted there to be a unique aspect to the story. I didn't want to just do some kind of deranged inmates going crazy, blah, 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 blah. So the angle we put on this was, and you can read the full story on our social medias, it was that the prison had an over-influx of inmates, and so they sent them to this asylum. Here, Dr. Strauss believes that he can treat these patients and to take the evil out of them, so to speak. He finds out that's...
beat the devil out of them.
Yeah. That it doesn't quite work like that because it's not a physical, tangible thing. So he kind of goes mad in the process, and then just kind of gives up on the asylum, and everybody's doing their own thing. You know, whatever that is, and you got to come see the asylum to find out.
If you watched our Trans World episode, one of those masks will be Dr. Strauss.
Go back and see if you can figure out which one is Dr. Strauss. It's really cool.
Probably one of my favorite masks we got from that trip.
Yeah.
I just love. There's something about it.
I can't wait to see that character come to life.
I'm so excited. But the whole thing, it's so. All of this season is kind of out of character for us, theme wise and subject wise.
Especially when we released Trail 1.
Yes.
It's very
which is already coming together beautifully.
I think I'm most excited for Trail 1.
I could maybe get behind that. But I'm going to have a lot of fun in Trail 2.
No, Trail 2 is going to be a ton of fun. A lot of hype in Trail 2, and it's going to be amazing the stuff we do in there. But the story-wise, there'll be a whole episode on that. I'm not going to get ahead on that. But, yeah, there's a lot of things that are unique for us.
Yeah.
And we've got some really cool characters coming together for Trail 2. You know, we're going to see those come to life here in a couple weeks. Promo shoots coming up very, very soon.
When this is out, it'll be, a week away?
Probably something like that.
Who is calling me?
So, geez.
All right, everyone call this number 81. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know who that is. I'll call back later.
Maybe they should call him. So, yeah, we also kind of, I don't want to, went off script. And did some scenic things in Trail 2 already, just with the layout. One hallway we think is gonna mess some people up, and a couple other things too. Yeah,
we're the you're not gonna see the typical Sir Henry's like square room, flat wall type stuff. There's a lot of dimension that we are able to play with in Trail 2, vertically, horizontal, everywhere. It's so exciting. It's really, really cool. A particular scene, I think is what you're quoting to, I've been advocating for years.
Didn't even know he was out. I never even heard him say
it out of my face. But
whispering it.
Yeah. Mumbling. But it's just something that's like unique and you rarely see, but when you do, it like works so well. We're kind of a little bit in a way going back to basics, the classic stuff that just works, but obviously elevated a little bit.
I'm excited. One of the scenes I'm excited about too. I mean, all of these scenes are great in Trail 2, but the cell block scene.
That's already, I can take a picture of it and it's impressive.
I put some time into that.
Yeah, you did.
And it's coming out. And then like the things we're able to do, like technology, because of this protection we have from the weather now. For instance, in that scene,
yep.
With projections and things of that nature,
and so on and so forth.
So we got a lot of cool stuff coming to Trail 2. What else? I feel like there's some
big thing that we're missing. Talked about like
the finale scene has another finale in it, kind of.
Yeah, it really does.
So
there's one last little hurrah. Oh, so let's talk about the facade. That's the big thing. Yeah. Duh.
So we didn't tear the facade down. We left it up, obviously, but
so we added. So we took the old exit and tore it down, and saved a piece of it. Slid it all the way over against the garage and put this new
tower. Yeah,
a tower essentially. Work in progress, but yeah, we built this whole new tower. What is it? 22.
It's 18 to the
top and then the roof.
And then the roof. So it's like 23.
Yeah, 22, however big. Pretty big. Looks good. It's a great addition to the facade. And then it was yesterday. Repainted the entire thing.
So yeah, I've been wanting to do this for 2 years now. Repaint the whole thing. Just we don't need to do it. Finally, we said we're gonna do it for this theme. So Calvin repainted the whole thing, kind of weathered it up, distressed it some, and we're really, really happy with how this turned out. I think it's the perfect shade, color.
Which is weird because like as I was spraying it, I was like, man, this is kind of similar to this other color. And you're like, no, there's more green. And now that it's dry, it's blue, but it's still perfect.
It's because
It's so archaic.
It's an artist. Okay?
Yeah, but it's perfect. It's almost the exact opposite of what it was before.
It literally is the exact opposite.
Yeah,
You look at it, you feel like depressed.
which is perfect.
Yeah, it looks like an asylum.
And so that's kind of the vibe that we're going for is
Depressed.
like you're walking through and you're going to get some sort of emotion through this. Whether
Yes. Well, okay, so
dread.
Let's go back to a couple years ago when we went out to 13th Gate in Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
And that's really where the idea of an asylum actually came to life for me, because up until that point, it's like one of these run-of-the-mill themes of clowns, zombies, hillbillies. We don't do normal cliche themes here, okay? If we're going to do something that may be cliche, there's going to be a twist and a color and something unique about it, which is why we're doing what we're doing with the asylum. So when we went to 13th Gate, they have this big asylum scene.
Essentially, their whole finale is like
Yeah.
this 5-minute,
And
if not longer.
I really couldn't tell you much about like what was in the scenes, like the architecture, the scenic design, as so many hunters will say. I honestly, and don't get me wrong, 13th Gate has some incredible scenic design.
Yes, they really do.
Incredible. But that didn't make this scene. What made the scene was the acting. The acting was phenomenal. Each person in there, I truly believe, thought that they were in an asylum. It was that good. I'm talking Brad Pitt can't even act this good. Fill in your favorite actor. It was incredible. I mean, there was this person in this bed, and I don't even know what dialogue they were saying, but just the way they were saying it and the way they were looking at you, oh my god! And their like inflection of their words.
See, that's when you're walking through that section, you're not scared. You just feel
But you
horrible.
felt such an emotion, and that is what great acting is.
Yeah.
So Trail 2, you got a big test this year.
The specific thing that I remember is that there was an actor in a wheelchair and his eyes were gouged out, and he was calling out for someone's name, asking, whoever, Christina, is that you? Is that you? Whatever it was. And then like 3 scenes later, you see this woman in this bed who's like calling out for his name. He's like trying to find him, but he's blind and she's like stuck in this. It was like,
I'm gonna go out.
You just feel so bad.
I'm gonna go
It's
out.
incredible.
Hot take. Maybe it's not hot. I don't know. The asylum scene in 13th Gate and all the things I've seen over all my years is the best acted, choreographed acting in a haunted house I have ever seen.
I would second that. But it's also like, it's not just the acting, it's the scenic design, the way it's laid out, and how the actors can interact with each other.
That is absolutely a part of it, for sure. But the acting just takes over.
It's so gnarly. Like, you can watch a video of like the tour. There's videos out there, and you can see it. It's beautiful. It looks great. Once you get the actors in there, you walk like, and that's the finale. Like, you walk out of the haunt, and you're like, "What was that?" Like,
Yeah.
you just it's awesome.
So-
just the way you feel walking through there, I can't
So
describe.
from that moment, I realized, okay, we could do an asylum theme, but we got to do it like this. So, and that's heavily influencing the things we were doing with the design and the scares. And
Yeah. So like
the way we're doing our characters.
short story long. Of course, you're gonna have your jump scares and your scares and your cliche like people bouncing off the walls crazy, but we're going for other emotions as well. Your empathy while you're going through there a lot as well. So,
I mean, at the end of the day, we're gonna scare you.
yeah, of course we are. We have some
We might kill
crazy
you.
scares, but entertainment's about emotion and whatever emotion that
I mean,
You
right
get-
off the bat,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, oh,
nothing is right.
oh.
But it's so good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, some heavy dark themes in there, but at the end, it's gonna have the Sir Henry brand onto it, and something too. I'll talk a little bit about this, and we'll come back to this later when we do our common area podcast episode. But our common area characters are going to be a little different this year, and you'll see why once that's revealed. But it's going to be cool because there's going to be more interaction with common area characters than I guess in a traditional sense in the past, but also how they interact with their trails.
Yeah,
to an extent. I don't want to give them more away than that.
Yeah, just kind of switching it up for us, and
I think it's going to work out a lot better.
I think so. It worked during the off-season stuff. So, but yeah, so that's why like when you came out for the Western event, there's the big and Valentine's Day, the big banners. It's
under construction,
renovating, things like that. Because literally, if you would have walked behind the facade, there was nothing there. During Wild West, there was stuff there, but not during.
Yeah. So we. I mean, really, in the 4 weeks, probably the majority of the shell and the walls were put up and everything and done. So
yeah, every time someone that has been seeing the project kind of move along, every time they come out, they're like, "How do y'all have more stuff up?" Like even Anthony, our videographer, every time he comes out, he goes, "What are y'all doing? Like y'all are working. This is crazy how much progress." So hopefully we can show some pictures along the way.
I just went back for whatever reason and watched the build of the 2023 hayride and kind of that whole like recap video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we did what we did that year.
I
genuinely don't know.
I don't know.
And like,
I really
we were
don't.
Still mildly happy at the end of it.
Yeah.
That's really the crazy part. Because
I really got to find that clip.
Because I was comparing like, wow, we're doing a lot this year, as you can tell, a lot, but like it's kind of easy compared to like that or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not to say like that.
That wasn't.
It was physically demanding. It was probably the most physically demanding thing we've done. But it kind of like went up easy. Like
we also started earlier than the cooler months.
I just mean like creatively.
Yeah, it just
vision wise,
it just
built itself,
and,
right?
Please go check out that video if you haven't watched it on our YouTube channel.
Real tearjerker, that one.
It's emotional.
I didn't care. Hey, moving on.
Just here so I'll get fined.
Can of corn, I'll be fine. Is that what you said?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I thought you said can of corn, I'll be fine.
That's a new one too. Can of corn, I'll be fine.
Can of corn, I'll be fine.
Simulink.
Say can of corn, I'll be fine.
No, we'll get shirts made up. Can of corn, I'll be fine. Send me a link. What scene are you most excited for in Trail 2?
Selfish reasons, the dining room.
Why?
Because I'm going to be up there yelling at them.
Like I said, our dining room is multi-story.
Yeah. And also, there's actually a pretty cool effect in there that I'm sure is going to kill people.
Yeah, I can't
The
wait
simplest
to see
thing
that.
in the world, I bet you it's going to destroy everybody.
Yes, I can't wait to see that come to life.
But in that, and then the scene after my control room.
Oh, yeah.
That scene, I think people are going to talk about.
We took some inspiration from Penhurst. We won't give this away, but we took some inspiration from Penhurst on this scene Calvin's talking about after the security room. This wasn't even a part of their haunt. This
is real Penhurst.
This is real Penhurst. They pulled us to the side. Hey, you guys want to see something creepy? And we go in his room, and it's this room, and I'll let you tell how you felt.
So he's
I'm a sensitive, like spiritual kind of guy.
Yeah, he's a superstitious guy. Me, I'm a little stitious. I haven't had really any sort of experience to.
Maybe stish.
Yeah, maybe stish. Wow, what a bull. Anyways, God. Oh, dude, we haven't made that joke in 2 years.
I forgot about that.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, we're like walking through this haunt. Nina's giving us a tour. Nina, hey Nina, if you watch this, still friends to this day. We talk. She's cool. Anyways, we're walking through and this random guy just pops through his door. Works there, obviously. He's like, hey, did you take him back to XYZ room? And she's like, no, can we go back there? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And it's like through a scene door, you know, a door they built, and then into this hallway, and it's just like a fog machine in this open concrete room that clearly hasn't been touched. And you're just in there, and like
There's stuff on the walls.
There's stuff like on the wall, yeah.
Drawings.
But otherwise has not been touched. Even that stuff was original. But you walk in there and you kind of just have the realization of like, oh, this isn't a show anymore. Like, this is real life horror.
Yeah.
And just like the pressure in the room was so weird. And we're just standing there like, okay, yeah, this is cool, uncomfy. And then I was like, can we go? Can we move on? Like, put me back in the fake stuff. Like, this is too real.
Throwback. Calvin and I spent some time in an old abandoned funeral home. Don't ask why.
Team bonding.
We, team bonding. So we spent some time in this old abandoned funeral home. And for me, like Calvin said, I'm kind of a superstitious, sensitive, spiritually, whatever person you want to say. So I was like on edge the entire time. This guy's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, I'd make a joke and he'd be like, shut up. It's not funny. And I'm like, all right.
So I've never really seen him uncomfortable in any kind of like energy, spiritual, like whatever you want to say, setting. So for him, and don't get me wrong, it was very. There was a lot going on in that room.
But so, like, to me, it wasn't like the ghost things. Because obviously, Penhurst
is like an energy.
Is very haunted.
An emotional
naturally.
Energy.
But, yeah, it's the emotion. Of you walked through a fake door that they had built that's part of a show into real horror. Like, whatever happened in this room for close to 100 years, like, was real. Not the scene right behind me. That's fake. That's an actress. But like in here, it's just completely different ball game, and just the duality of that was really jarring for me, and it was so weird.
Well, I think the fact that kids had something to do with
it
was also a thing.
Yeah,
big thing.
Just
talking about it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but it was just the fact that, like, also like, love them, cool people. We talked to them for a while. They were so casual about it. They're like, hey, you want to go back into this room, the back rooms, literally, and check this out and feel real dread. And we're like, hell yeah! And then you walk in there. We weren't even there, not even a minute. We went, whoa! I took 2 pictures and dipped. Like,
yeah, I don't even think I took any pictures.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being the tech that has to refill that fog machine in there.
That's crazy.
Like, I could not imagine. But yeah, I think there was like 7 buildings, and they used 5 of them, including like the underground tunnels, which those are
wild.
Those are really cool. But yeah, dude, there's very few things that I get nervous, or like even haunted houses I don't get nervous for, or anything like that, roller coasters, whatever. But that, I was just like, oh man, I can't imagine what has gone on in this room. Get me out. Like, just put me in the fake stuff again. This literally is too real for me. So I don't know if I'm purposely doing it, but I consistently forget about that until someone brings it up, and I'm like, oh man, that was crazy.
This is traumatic for Calvin.
But
yeah. So we took some inspiration from that.
Yeah, literally
that room, and made a scene out of it.
Visually, I think
visually,
a lot of people are going to talk about that room.
I think so too. What else we got with Trail 2?
I think that's the big. What scene are you most excited for? Is it that room?
I said the corridor room.
The corridor room.
Jail cell block.
Oh yeah, the cell block room.
I'm anxious to see how the dining room comes out once we put the windows.
Oh yeah.
In, which reminds me.
Yeah, I was about to say we haven't talked about that in a second.
So yeah, a lot of cool visual stuff. I mean, I could walk us through each scene, and there's something
literally
really awesome about each scene.
But also, like, what's exciting for probably only us two and no one else is the infrastructure that's there now, that we have access to and how easy our lives are going to be because of
sound and lighting stuff.
Yeah, all that and the garage behind it and everything. That's the nerdy stuff that we will get excited for. Is just spending the time to make our lives easier for the next 5 years.
Yep.
Is so exciting.
Yeah, you're really gonna see like Tampa J, Chris the Girl, Christine Harriet both said like leveling up. You're really gonna see it taken to a whole other meaning when you experience Trail 2. And which is crazy from the outside, it kind of basically looks the same, a couple new pieces, paint job on the facade, but once you step into it, it's literally stepping into a whole nother world. And I think that's going to be
it's now probably the greatest transformation anywhere.
Easily.
Yeah. Except for maybe that first left turn into the hayride, but or that for seeing the Trail 1 for the first time.
Trail 1.
That's pretty close.
It's probably a huge transformation.
Yeah, we got stamped.
Stamped concrete.
Yes.
Can't forget about that.
Stamped. What is it? Stained concrete. So like it's really fancy
That's like
looking.
what they put in the theme parks.
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
as our tile guy would say. But it's nice. It's fancy. It does look good.
It's one of the first things people say is, "Oh my gosh, look at this!
Look at the floor."
And
it's also funny. Everyone we've walked in there, they go, "Wow," and then they stomp the ground
like it's fake. No, this is just cardboard, paper mache.
Like, wow, y'all really did that, huh?
Yeah, everybody does that. It's like a hoedown.
Yeah.
No, we're excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for it. Keep in touch with our social medias.
Yeah, soon another announcement for sure.
Well, yeah. So we very soon another announcement is coming. Wonder what that could be, and we'll be putting out videos really soon in July-ish. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, do we have a fun fact for today?
No. Oh, well, yeah, I can give a fun fact.
Please.
Dr. Strauss. Did you put his first name on the thing?
I didn't.
Oh, so that's not really a fun
Well,
fact.
where did Dr. Strauss come from, Calvin?
Oh, I don't know where Strauss came from.
That's,
That was you. You named him
yeah,
Strauss.
I did for a little Easter egg for you. See, my work is not appreciated here.
Are you talking about the dude from Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Oh, okay, dope. Robert Downey Jr.
Easter eggs everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and it's so, okay, funny you say that. I deemed his first name Anton.
Why Anton?
Because another, I guess RGK or Strauss was
RGK.
I was saying Robert Downey Jr., but I messed it all up. But another one of my favorite villains, Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. It was kind of where that name came from. And I was like, yeah, that guy's straight evil. Yeah. So in there, that's so yeah, horror movie, not horror movies, regular movie villains. I didn't know you did that. That's a cool pull, actually.
I told you that. So you've got this doctor.
So that's the best part about Calvin. You can tell him the same story 4 times, and it's going to hit every time.
It helps with the podcast.
Yeah, literally.
Feels fresh.
He told me a story earlier today, and I didn't realize about like 20 minutes later, I was like, I have heard that before. And it's probably the 3rd time you told me about.
What?
We're talking about Little Clayton and where that.
Oh. Yeah.
But yeah. So if you've told me a story greater than 9 months ago, and you really want to, you really need to like
tell him again.
Get it out again because it's a good story, I will probably be as enthusiastic as the first time.
So yeah. What was that? Your fun fact?
I was going to say, yeah, I got Anton from Anton Chigurh and also Anton LaVey, for those who know who that is.
I was going to say Anton, isn't that the guy from Star Trek who died in a car crash or something?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure that.
Star Trek is this, right? Yeah.
This.
I have never seen Star Trek.
I know that because my wife forced me to watch it.
Wow.
Not a Star Trek fan. She's a nerd, but
nah, I'm not a Star Trek guy. But yeah, Anton Chigurh, Anton LaVey, look him up. That's kind of the inspiration, at least for me. That and also, I almost said Dr. Doofenshmirtz, not Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Edward Richtofen, if anyone knows who that is, a little bit of him thrown in there.
No idea.
A little bit of Christoph Waltz from Inglourious Bastards.
So, are you going to pull a? Well, we were going to say that to really encapsulate what Trail 2 is all about. You know, we were going to put each actor into a scene for 6 weeks, give them a diary, kind of like what Heath Ledger did with the Joker.
And only play a B flat.
Yes. And have them, you know, come up with their shtick for the authenticity. I think that's something we should consider.
Yeah, and then I can't say that. I was gonna almost spoil Trail 1.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't. But yeah, well, I mean, we could have them become that experience too if we want.
Yeah, that's how you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, yes, that's my fun fact. That's at least my personal inspiration for Strauss as a character. I don't know what his
So last time we saw any kind of like Mad Doctor, here's another fun fact, was 2016. I think your first year out here as a guest.
Yeah, dude. Let's tell this story.
Where you got one of the best scares ever, which I think you told on the podcast.
I probably have, but that was so long ago that we told us. Josh was still on the show.
9 years ago.
So, yeah, like he said, 2016, I come out as a guest, and I'm going to explain the characters, and you can explain who the people are.
Yeah, that's fine.
This guy in this lab coat and this crazy hair comes walking out the front gate at the time. Had some glasses, yeah. I think they were probably on a shirt, if I remember. But the front gate at the time, me and my family were in the queue line waiting to buy our tickets, and he has this weird like zombie thing on a leash, and that thing was creepy. So I'm like kind of side-eyeing it, and I look away for a second, and I come back, and that weird thing is gone and sliding at me about Mach 2 underneath all the queue lines, like barking at my feet. Scared me half to death. Because still to this day, I'm a very jumpy person. Zach literally made me jump off of the ground on accident the other day walking through Trail 2.
I was just walking. Hey.
Yeah, literally jumped in the air. I was like, good thing you weren't an intruder, but... Yeah, so he comes sliding at me. The weird scientist guy is just laughing maniacally or whatever. But yeah, he tore me up real bad, and that was a great start to the night. And those people were...
Yeah, so the mad scientist was my dad when he was acting, and then the slider zombie guy was Josh, who at the time, and still does, play Mr. Peebles, one of our fan favorite classic characters out here. You can find him on our mural, which we got to feature Peebles in this asylum.
Yeah, he is. It's talked. Yeah. It's talked. It's rumored. But yeah, probably the best scare I got ever at Sir Henry Sauna Trail was his dad and Josh.
Dad playing the original Dr. Strauss. I can't wait to see what your interpretation is. You got big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Big hair.
Big hair to fill. Do we have a picture?
I can find one.
Yeah, we have to show a picture. It's so funny. It's great. Time capsule, literally.
We've come along.
Because that was the year. That was the train, and that was the year of the mansion where you had to walk through the flashlight.
Yeah, with a flashlight. Yeah.
And why was that?
We didn't have time to install lighting in there, so it was a blackout maze. Hey, but it worked.
It did work.
With that,
me and my family, not knowing anything about this place, we got the tickets for the blackout with the flashlight. So.
Little trade secret there.
Yeah.
And don't worry, if we do if I ever do a blackout maze again, it's because we're genuinely doing blackout maze.
We got really close one year. I think it was for Valentine's Day.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we did.
But we just never did.
No, we did it.
Did we?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, we did.
But it wasn't flashlights. I think
it was flashlights. Pretty sure.
I know what you're talking about.
Also, side note. As we wrap up this episode, we have released our schedule. If you haven't seen that, go on our website and or social medias.
You don't have to put the S, right?
I know I don't, but why do I keep the tag on the hat? Because I can.
Okay, it's a bit now.
Yeah, it's a bit. I like it. Makes me feel old. So anyway, like I was saying, the social medias. You can find our calendar, our dates on there. We're going to be open 16 nights for the show. With an additional 17th night. Our first time ever opening on a Thursday night, October 30th. This is something new we're doing. It's called our Family Fright Night from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. on Thursday, October 30th. And what this will be, it will be a essentially lights on show without the monsters. So excuse me, if you have kids or family who's historically been too scared to come out to Sir Henry's because they don't want to be scared, blah, 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 this will be your chance to come see everything we do at Sir Henry's, walk through the trails with the show lighting, with the sounds on, but no scare actors. It's really cool.
Animatronics?
There's probably going to get some animatronics that get left on, unfortunately. But it's a really cool opportunity. We wanted to, do this if you just wanted to come and enjoy the sets at night and experience that, since we have a lot of cool stuff now, and I feel like we're at that level where we can do it. And 2, offer those people who are too scared to come out and see it an opportunity to see it without getting scared. And then if they want to come back and get scared that Friday or Saturday, absolutely can. So I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun. We're going to do some more family-oriented activities in the common area that we'll have that night only, and not for the actual season. So are you excited about it?
Yeah, it's going to be cool. And I don't know, I'm just thinking about this now. It could be a little like trick-or-treat angle, right? Because it's the 30th.
Did I say that?
I don't know. It could be cool.
Maybe.
Probably have some candy.
Maybe.
Got to. It's the 30th. But no, I'm excited. I've been pushing for like a family-friendly day, or at least like a lights-on day, which this not exactly what this is, but
we did a like family afternoon thing in 2018. Yeah, 2018, and
which I was absent for.
Yeah, and it just makes sense why he would push for one again. It was just so miserably hot, and then you got to turn around and do the show that night, and then do a show Sunday. It was a lot. Not saying that won't ever come back, but I think this is a good medium to do a family-oriented, and not that Sir Henry's isn't family-oriented, but do a family-safe kid event.
Yeah, exactly.
But at night.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
When our stuff looks even better.
And it's just, you still get the full Sir Henry vibe, especially. It was the big part.
And we're going to have, like, common area scare actors there. But they won't be targeting people, scaring people. They're going to be more friendly, more welcoming. Hey, take a picture of me. And it's more family oriented. So that is happening. Tickets will be on sale soon if they're already not ready. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, stay tuned. Don't forget we got the summer camp coming up. If you haven't signed up for that, sign-ups and registration is closing soon. So if your kid wants to participate, their age is between 11 and 17. Make sure you go ahead and get them signed up. You can find the link on our website or on our website.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, friends, until next time, hope you stay spooky out there.
Sayonara. Speaking of